Hi, hello, you're here on a Tuesday. Tuesdays is where we do deep dives into the environmental, social and ethical issues with the world and basically things that pique my interest. Covering tragic icons, we're covering some stuff with like role models of Disney and stuff. So basically it's all around our minds in a way. But I had to hold off on my Judy Garland video that is coming out next week because some stuff has come to light about Omaze, which I have to talk about. The reason that I've even heard about them, because we pay for YouTube, like we're that very tiny percentage that pay for YouTube Premium because we watch so much of it. I'd never seen an Omaze ad until Chris Clemens actually got sponsored by them and Philip DeFranco, two people who I actually highly respect. And so I was like, oh, that sounds like a great thing, the way that they were talking about it. But some things have come to light which actually show that Omaze is one of the worst businesses out there. Fantastic, right? But that's for charity. How could that be? So what we're doing today is we're talking all about that, all of the exploitative practices, the lawsuits, literally everything, including the fact that there are many people who actually donate to them who have their bank account hit multiple times by them against their will. So we have a lot to discuss. All of the sources are in the description box. We're doing this makeup look because I saw this trend for like that reverse cat eye, so I've tried it. It's not been that successful, but I tried. Anyway, let's get on into it. Everything's in the description box. It's a bit of a rant. It's a warning. So first off, let's just talk about Omaze and who exactly they are and what their website tells us that they are, right? Omaze was founded to challenge the idea that charities shouldn't market themselves like for-profit businesses do. Many charities rely instead on galas that are both exclusive and expensive to run to bring in funds. Instead, Omaze incentivizes donations by giving people a chance to win prizes. By doing this, they open the doors, letting many more people in to participate. Founders Ryan Cummins and Matthew Paulson wanted to take once-in-a-lifetime prizes that a typical celebrity auction fundraiser only the rich could afford and make them attainable by almost anyone while simultaneously raising money for worthy causes. So yes, it's a clear, obvious, very, very transparent charity focus, right? Like they wanted to do this for all the good reasons. It wasn't because they were jealous of the fact that they themselves weren't rich enough to be able to enter into these things that all the rich people at galas do. Now, do not get me started on the ethics of charity because I can make a whole video of that because I have a lot of opinions about that. So basically, the whole business is a for-profit charity middleman. So let's just break down what percentage actually goes to charity from these. From prize-based giveaways, only about 10% goes to charity, like a car or a house. It can range up to 15% though from the total donation that's given by a person, and then experience-based giveaways get about 60% goes to charity because apparently there's lower overhead costs. So clearly, as you can tell, this is all totally for charity with those kind of margins, right? Yeah. I'm sure that 10 to 15% makes such a difference. The overhead costs actually mean that charities don't have to pitch in any money for the fundraiser. The giveaways are self-funded. Part of every donation that comes in goes towards the giveaways costs, including prize acquisition and advertising. That includes those sponsorships that my lovely favourite YouTubers are actually doing. So whilst the whole donation doesn't actually go to charity, the charity doesn't have to spend out of pocket themselves. They just get like a tiny bit. Breaking it down completely, Omaze keeps or spends $8.50 of every $10 donation it gets, with $1.50 going from direct profits. So you guessed that that's only $1.50 going to the charity for the prize-based giveaway. And they also deduct the cost of prizes from their donations. So let's just talk quickly about the people who actually donate. So apparently, once you've actually made your donation, you get absolutely bombarded with emails, communications about like all the other things that you should be signing up for. And also repeat amounts seem to be getting taken from people's bank accounts too. One person donated $10 twice, but then had 49 charges taken from their account. And other people have donated and then they just don't even receive a confirmation email that their donation has been received. Like, as someone that donates to charity, like you always get that confirmation like straight away. At least in my experience with any charity that I've given to, I get an email back. And also the thing is that Omaze actually don't respond to emails too. So what exactly is this overhead charge for? Also, it's technically gambling. Now look, you can have your own opinions on gambling, like whatever, I don't really care. what you do with your spare time. I'm not really a fan of gambling myself because I feel like it's very predatory and manipulative, and I'm personally just not here for it myself. Yes, that also includes things like lotto, but the thing is with lotto, your chances of winning are actually far higher than your chances of winning Omaze, and very intelligent people have actually already broken this down, so I'll reference that in the links as well as the video just up here as well, because they've already done those calculations. You do not need me to do that because me and maths, we do not mix. So the expected payout for every $1 put in is 70 cents, whereas the lottery has a higher rate of return. So say for example, even if you win, like that payout level is actually far lower, even though people are like, oh, but you know, like this person spent $10 on this and now they've got a car. How many other things have they had to enter in order to try and get that? So let's just have a bit of a discussion about what charities it is that they're actually benefiting, right? Because like you've got some of the big name ones with celebrity endorsements, and then you've got some other ones which you're like, I never heard of that before, and then you go and try and find out more from their websites, and some of them can seem a little bit dodgy. Like, I'm not saying that all grassroots ones aren't like completely transparent, and like finding their accounting should be very transparent. Like that's my belief with businesses and with charities in particular, because like you want to, I understand that you need to pay for overheads, but there's overheads and then there's like overheads, you know? Because I actually really did struggle to find Omaze's financial breakdown, and for most businesses you can actually see that. And also when you actually go onto the website, the way that it's staged is to mostly focus on the things that you could win. There's not very much actually about the charities themselves, the transparency that they try to put in place. Like the focus on the charities is absolutely minimized because it's more about like what you could actually get from it. The thing is that they've teamed up with things like Space for Humanity, which is Richard Branson's tax write-off as far as I'm concerned, because it's like, oh, but you know, like everyone should be able to go to space. It's like, maybe we should take the focus away from space sometimes and actually focus on the issues with the planet, because from what I've been able to gather, I think it looks like the billionaires are just trying to send poor people into space to suffer, to like take the rubbish elsewhere. And also, one of the biggest problems which this YouTube channel, which I'll just have up on the screen in the video, also linked down below, is the fact that anyone can set up a charity, and with the margins actually in place for this, they can make so much money. If you are an unscrupulous person, you could make a charity and still actually donate to a worthwhile charity whilst you're at it. Say like you want to help people who are born with cognitive heart defects or something. You can still actually do that regular donation that most businesses actually do. Lots of businesses do donations so then they actually get beneficial tax write-offs. So you unscrupulous you can actually do this as well just yourself without having to really worry about like any of the ethics side of it, because you set up a business, you are paying yourself a salary as an overhead, because you know, if you are in a position of CEO or anything like that, you can absolutely do that for this exact thing, because the vetting isn't exactly the strongest, and all you need to do is like use their amazing network, their amazing brand. You can get like this great deal with someone, like a celebrity, a wonderful experience or something, but you wouldn't want an experience you'd actually be like, if I just get a car and then I can raffle off the car, make heaps of profit, give myself an amazing salary from it, they don't need to know anything. So what I'm saying is like there are so many corrupt loopholes with the setup of Omaze in general, which is another reason why they had to go from lawyer to lawyer to lawyer to lawyer to lawyer in order to check that this business was even legitimate to be able to set up, because most of them said no. Let's talk about the people that do win. Now look, I'm not actually saying that people don't win, and I'm not saying it's a total scam. What I'm saying is they're very MLM boss babe kind of vibes about it. And it's almost like there's like this contract which we don't see about the way that they have to talk about their winnings, so to speak. Like anyone that's gone and talked about it, they've all been, you know, when someone is under duress and they just get very too high-pitched about it and just like, this is like the best opportunity, oh my god, everyone should be entering into this thing, this is the best. Like as soon as like I'm hearing like that act of desperation, I kind of get this what do they have on you sort of vibe. I need to talk to you about the lawsuit. Because actually, lawsuits. Because what else would you expect? There was actually a lawsuit that was filed just this year, very, very recently, and actually just being talked about it because Omaze is trying to get it dismissed. Let's have a bit of a chat about this latest one, not saying that they haven't had other ones come up against them, huh? The lawsuit actually in question accuses it of operating illegal lotteries and misleading the public about its fundraising credentials, which Omaze's very, very expensive lawyers, which you actually pay for if you've ever donated to them, actually trying to get swept right under the rug and get it dismissed, because of course it's not a real thing. What do you mean? Of course we're very, very charitable as a business. Why would you ever question that? Again, from this DVEX article, in 2019 it was investigated by the California Attorney General over whether its fundraising activities constituted an illegal lottery or raffle under California law, where lotteries are only allowed if at least 90% of gross receipts go to charity. Omaze settled the claims in January 2020, paying $90,000 towards the cost of the investigation and $30,000 in late fees and penalties for operating without being properly registered. Omaze also agreed to abide by several terms, including to prominently disclose in a clear and conspicuous manner that no payment is required to participate in the campaign. Omaze spokesperson Megan Riley added that the settlement was not the outcome of any case, complaint, or litigation, but arose out of an informal inquiry from the Attorney General's office. You don't just get like a light-hearted informal inquiry, in case you're wondering. This is actually kind of like a big deal. And so there is a classic argument that anything is positive, right? When it comes to charity, like any donation is a really, really good thing, and we should be very grateful for the fact that people have donated 15% when it's meant to be for charity. Okay, let's talk about it. Because like when it comes to money going to charity, like there tends to be like this feeling that anything is absolutely positive and people should just be grateful, you know, like that whole Anastasia meme thing. At least it's a meme in my head. I would honestly still be recommending avoiding Omaze, their shady business practices, and I don't know about you, but I just feel a little icky with the fact that we've got some people that have gotten stupidly rich for something that I don't necessarily think they should have gotten all that rich from, you know? If you are after like a fancy car or whatever, like props to you, like whatever, I really, really don't care. I just don't really think that going through Omaze is like the best way to do it, because your chances are so slim. It honestly doesn't make sense, for one. For two, you're like, I'm doing a really good thing because like this money is going to charity. It's actually not. Like $1.50 is going to charity. You might as well just donate $1.50 to charity. It'll make just as much of a difference. And then you're not paying these bad people's salaries. And like I said before, if you do want that really fancy car, you could just set up that fake charity, get it yourself, and put it under your overheads. And then like get Omaze to like promote it for you, because there are sadly a lot of shady practices out there when it comes to certain charities. Like I said before, a lot of businesses do a lot of write-offs when it comes to charities, and I'm not trying to like deter people from doing that. What I'm saying is like anyone can do it and say, oh, we are so good, so kind-hearted, look at us, we donated some money. That's wild. Another thing that really bothers me is like their misleading charts on their website, because they always try and like advertise the fact that they get more than what other people would, and I'm like, are you really getting more for charity though? I think you're getting more for yourself. I'm sorry, I'm really just not drinking this Kool-Aid. I think that we've been able to kind of save this look a little bit. That's kind of the biggest thing here, right? The barrier you have for entry for the unscrupulous is so dang low that if you feel fine swindling people out of cash, having people's cards charged multiple times and hounded with constant communications and causing huge amounts of stress, you could be the proud owner of the latest Omaze charity. That's the thing. Like, it's so exploitative of the charities and of the people that think that they're doing the right thing as well. You're also talking to the person that doesn't actually want to get a daffodil when I donate on Daffodil Day, because I'm like, this is waste. I just want that money going straight to the charity. It's all I care about. I don't want any of that stuff. Just let me send you money. Done. You know what we could do in order to like make these charities like feel a lot better is actually having people pay the correct rate in tax. That would solve so many of our problems. Wow, billionaires. Anyway, it's time for my conclusion. So ultimately, if you want to help a charity, please do donate to them directly. Do not squander your dreams on this falsity that comes with Omaze. Now, I want to make it very, very clear that I do not think that it's bad when businesses partner with charities and a portion of profits go towards that charity, because the thing is, if you want that whole tit for tat thing, you want to get something and then still do something good, that's fine. But the thing is, those businesses, they are very transparent about it. We're donating 5% of the profits of this to charity. We are our choice to donate 10% of our profits for the month of December goes to this, and it's like, it's very, very transparent about what they're doing. It's like, you know that they're a for-business company, but Omaze tried to hide behind the fact that they are here for charities. But no, you get something great out of it too, because you're a good person. That's why you're supporting us and paying all of our very expensive overheads. Because it honestly is a charity raffle where the charity barely gets anything, and to me that just is unethical as hell, because it's exploiting like what you think is doing a fantastic thing. Ultimately, they're the ones that are getting the biggest cut, and it's like they're half-assing two things. They want to have this amazing business and also have like this whole charity thing, and that is the one Ron Swanson quote I do live my life by. Don't half-ass things. Whole-ass one thing, get it done properly. If you want to be a business and your main thing is about making money, fine, cool, go with it, whatever. Sometimes you give to charity too, sweet. Be transparent about it, just be like clear, this is what it's about. Meanwhile, these two have become ridiculously rich from people donating their money to what they think are charities. Meanwhile, those charities barely get anything, and I just think it's scummy as hell. And also, they make it appear like you must donate in order to be able to like get put into these sweepstakes or whatever you want to call it. Meanwhile, you actually don't have to donate at all. Like, that's just paying for their salaries and for the experiences, because none of this comes out of the goodness of people's hearts. This is all for profit. Like, all the experiences are paid for, everything is paid for by the people that are donating to charity here. It's creating this feel-good notion whilst actually promoting gambling, and I'm like, And it's also, of course, preying on the poor. And I've got a lot of issues around lotteries doing exactly that. It's just like, yeah, to me, financial reports should be open. There should be way more transparency when it comes to charities. Like, when I looked at some of the charities that they're actually supporting, I couldn't find out their financial information. Some of them I absolutely could, but some of them I couldn't, and I'm like, that just makes me feel very on edge. You know, like when it comes to people donating their money to what they think is a worthy cause. Meanwhile, it's like, well, why can't I find out this information on you? I'm not saying that they're all shady and stuff, it's just that should be on everyone's website. I just don't like people getting duped and getting taken advantage of with the feeling that they're doing something right, and I'm like, I'm not here for exploitation of any kind, and so that's why I had to make this video. And thank you for listening to my rant. All of the sources are of course in the description box down below, and I'm just gonna stew for a little bit and try and feel a little bit better, because I'm really glad that I've just talked about this, because it's been like eating my brain. It's made me so mad. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, please put this emoji. I think it is just fitting to describe the people that own Omaze. There we go. Thank you lovelies so much for watching. I'll see you on the following Tuesday. Judy Garland video will be out then. Then I'm covering Anna Nicole Smith's life, and if something else happens that really gets me riled up, I'm gonna make a video on that too. I don't know, just subscribe. We're here for a good time, and I'll see you lovelies again very soon. Bye! If you're wondering, something terrible went on with my eye cream today, and I've got no idea. We are just looking patchy and gross, and I'm sorry. I'm getting major like 2000s vibes with like the fact that we are so heavy underneath the eye right now. Back in my day, we used to do our makeup like this as teenagers. Oh, I always forget how gloopy that lip gloss is. Oh.